from a strategic perspective, some of the challenges that organizations run into more often than not is kind of the philosophy, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Meaning, hey, the website works today. Why would we migrate it, spend the money, make the investment, take the time to migrate to a new cloud platform? And I think that when you look at things in that light, it's not very strategic. So as the global economic conditions change, as businesses grow, there's going to become a time where an organization needs to do something quickly. That could be spinning up a multi-site environment. It could be rolling out a new e-commerce website. It could be launching new products or landing pages, running campaigns. And statistically speaking, that work can happen significantly faster in a cloud-based environment. And when 2 weeks durations to 2 months durations for deployments can cost companies millions of dollars, moving to the cloud sooner rather than later is definitely advantageous for organizations. The next challenge that we hear a lot about is cost variability, which is from a cloud perspective. When cloud solutions were first available, there was a lot of buzz about, hey, maybe we should move to the cloud because you only pay for what you use. And in those scenarios, it was quickly followed by, oh no, like we have no idea how much it's going to cost us every month. What if we get a lot of traffic and the website's really busy? Are we going to pay thousands of dollars a month for cloud pricing? And the reality is none of that was ever really true. So if you look at a cloud-based provider like Umbraco Cloud, you go onto the website, you pick the package that's right for your organization based on the size and scalability that you require. And let's say it's $800 a month. That's the most you'll ever pay, is $800 a month. So there is no variability in the costs. And even if you're hosting in your own Azure fabric, as an example, in those scenarios, you would just say, I'm assuming my website is running 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. What is the cost for that? And then you know that is the most that you would possibly pay per month. And so the cost variability concern is really not what it used to be. The next two strategic areas that I think organizations struggle with are really kind of joined at the hip. So long-term vendor strategy, which is the perception of vendor lock-in. So if you're looking at a product like Umbraco, a lot of times organizations say, like, what if Umbraco is not here in a couple of years? And that ties directly into platform viability. And I think there's two ways to kind of look at this. The first way that I always recommend is that if you look past the CMS platform you're selecting and ask the question, what technology framework are they using to power their CMS platform? In Umbraco's case, it's Microsoft. And Microsoft, their websites are running on Microsoft Azure. And so in those scenarios, you ask yourself, is Microsoft going away anytime soon? Definitely not. They're one of the most known companies in the world, and they're one of the most wealthy companies in the world. They're making huge investments in their cloud environments. And so I would say it's a pretty safe bet that Microsoft, as an undersigning framework, makes the product itself viable. And then you could take a look at, okay, do you have a vibrant community of people that use the platform, the CMS platform itself? What are people saying about that? So looking at crowdsourced review sites like G2 Crowd. And then how many implementations are there worldwide? You know, if you're looking at hundreds of thousands of implementations on the CMS, I think you can check the box of viability and lack of vendor lock-in. Strategically speaking, a lot of organizations are focused on sustainability goals. And at the forefront of those discussions is managing the IT footprint, meaning how do we reduce our IT footprint? And I think cloud migrations fit very well into those goal categories. And lastly, from a global data governance perspective, as the data laws continue to evolve around the world, partnering with organizations like Microsoft, as an example, or Umbraco, which is a global company, they have a lot of this kind of figured out, which makes that process a lot easier for organizations that are embarking on these challenges.